Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at Kelsien the Plague. Now, I decided to try and test Kelsien out in a PvE encounter, so you'll see that I'm up against Ulamog here. And I am using Kelsien with Daxos, because as you can see, Daxos's abilities are based on experience, as are Kelsien's. So, as Kelsien enters the battlefield, you don't have to cast it. As it enters the battlefield, it's going to get plus X, where X is the number of experience points you have. So with Daxos, if you use your ultimate, right, your third ability, you're going to be getting 10 experience, which means that all of your Kelsiens are going to come in with an additional plus 10. And the more Kelsiens that you, or the more times you use your third ability with Daxos, the bigger your Kelsiens are going to get. Now, you can also use Kelsien with Kalemny, but Daxos is definitely the better option, as Kalemny is based on creatures that cost 14 or more, and Kelsien is only 12 mana. So here you'll see that I'm actually running loyalty conversion instead of my usual gem conversion for colors, and that's because this deck and Kelsien really are going to rely on us getting our third ability. They aren't really as hinged on mana, and so you'll see that there's a whole bunch of gems coming down, and you'll also see that it's actually a little bit slower as we try and get cards from our hand onto the battlefield, just because we're not getting as much mana, we're just getting more loyalty from our matches. So opponent has an increasingly large field coming down, but that's okay because Daxos' third ability is incredible control. So we're going to go ahead and use it. And so you'll see that it destroys both of my opponent's creatures. It's going to give me 10 life, and it's also going to give me 10 experience, which means that now if I cast a Kelsien, it's going to be coming in with an additional plus 10. Now I'm also running this deck with Winota because Daxos' first ability makes a non-human token. And so that non-human token that you make is actually going to make it so that Winota is going to fetch a copy of Kelsien every single turn during your combat phase, which is incredibly useful because then once you've got your experience up, you're just getting super massive Kelsiens down on the battlefield. I actually really like Kelsien with Winota. Winota is great with a whole bunch of other cards, and when I made my first video that included Winota, that was with Kong and Urza, I mentioned that you'll be seeing more of Winota on my channel, and this probably won't be the last use of her. So here she is. I finally got Winota. I've got my third ability again with Daxos here, which means that I can get myself yet another 10 experience. I'm going to go ahead and filter my hand a little bit so I can keep drawing stuff that I want. And now with the 18, I could go ahead and use that. You don't actually need your opponent to have a creature down in order to use Daxos' third ability, which is pretty nice. You can just use it to gain the experience and the life. But here I'd rather wait just in case. Ulamog has some pesky creatures, and so I would ideally like to get rid of them. And so here Ulamog plays the creature, and so this gives us the opportunity to go ahead and get rid of it. Now, as we do this, I use my third ability. That gets me more experience. You'll see that I gain 22 life. That means that I've got 22 experience right now. As you use Daxos' other abilities, you gain experience, and also, more importantly, because we've been killing creatures, Kelsien actually gains experience too. So as creatures die, Kelsien gains experience. Now, as this little bit is going on, my general thoughts on Kelsien. Kelsien is a really strong card. I had Kelsien as one of my chase cards before the Ikoria set came out, and it definitely is a very good card. It's not entirely broken on its own, and it's really not very worthwhile if you don't have Daxos or Kalemny leveled up. For that matter, I would even argue that Daxos is the one that you'd want leveled up if you get yourself Kelsien. And if you do ultimately get Kelsien, but you don't have Daxos, I would definitely suggest getting Daxos and trying him out with Kelsien. So here you're going to see I'm actually going to use my third ability yet again. That's actually going to get us to 34 loyalty, I think. Experience, because killing the creature is going to give us 2 from Kelsien, And then let's see if it gives us 34 life. I think so. Yeah, 34 experience, which means that all of our Kelsiens now that come onto the battlefield are going to be coming onto the battlefield with an additional permanent plus 34 plus 34. That makes them 39 creatures for 12 mana, which is pretty substantial. And so here I'm just trying to get enough mana for Winota. I have it, and I'm able to use my first ability to get the Spirit there. You're going to see that I'm keeping the Chords of Calling in my hand because those are going to pretty easily fetch us more copies of Kelsien here. And so this is going to get me 12 mana because it's going to be 3 times 4, and that's exactly enough for Kelsien. So we're going to get 2 copies of Kelsien here. Here's copy number 1, and you're going to see it get that plus 34. Here's copy 2. You're going to see it get another plus 34, and it's already up to 97. So next turn, if Ulamog does not kill Kelsien, that's going to be game over. And you can generally see the overwhelming power of Kelsien, which is pretty fantastic. I really like this card. I haven't gotten Jinra, I think is her name yet, but when I do, rest assured I have a video ready for you guys. I already know what deck I'm going to use. So we're going to get at least one more Kelsien here. You'll see that Kelsien's activate ability is hitting there, and that's game over. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.